sake of the month. Remember, you got to sing it out of tune. Mimi, you can't.
Oh, sorry.
Bomb.
We sing it in tune.
Heaven forbid.
All right, so what are you doing for us today?
Yeah,
You're bringing something back.
Yes. So last year I shared with you about the same time a blueberry lemon pie, and you all loved it. I missed the deadline for entering it in last year's state fair, but this year I'm entering it, and I thought I'd bring it back. And the last time I was here, we laughed about the technique of the pâte brisée, so I brought that today.
Okay.
Remember
What'd you call it
the
again?
action pâte brisée.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
working with the dough.
Working with the dough,
Thank
it's the
you.
type of crust. So this, I've put it in my mixer, I added the dry, then I added the butter, then I added the wet.
Okay.
And it's very shaggy. So once you have that, you drop it out, and we talked a little bit about this.
Okay.
And you make sheets of butter.
Is it shaggy because you just didn't mix it that much, or the butter was super cold?
So you mix it with cold butter, and you want it shaggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you take the palm of your hand, you have a big pile, take the palm of your hand and you make these sheets.
This looks really intimidating.
It's not. It's not. And so
Probably
then
feels good.
it does. It's great. And it's a great little exercise when you set it aside. You go through this whole mass.
You're just creating the flakes.
And you make the sheets, and I stack it,
Okay.
and then you put it in a little ring and you refrigerate it overnight.
Oh.
So it's a definitely two-step process. So I'm only going to show you that much because I also want to talk about a little bit of the filling. So we have super easy. It's very little sugar. You have cornstarch and sugar. Put it in a saucepan.
That looks easy.
And then out of the 8 cups, so there's 8 cups of blueberries. There's tons of blueberries. 2 cups you put in with the sugar and the cornstarch. You heat this up until you have basically a jam. No liquid, no nothing.
Yeah, until it's thick. It's
The juice
like a low
creates-
simmer.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then you create this jam, and then you add the cold, fresh blueberries, and that's when you bake it in the pie. So right now I've only showed you a little bit of the pâte brisée method.
Yeah.
Then you make a crust, blind bake it, and you have this.
Explain what blind baking is.
Yeah, please do.
So you bake it until the point where it's done. Because,
Are you putting weights?
yeah,
Okay,
this
what-
is a really soft dough.
Some people don't know what that blind baking, the weights is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me.
So
I don't know what that is.
you put your cold dough. I freeze it actually. So you line your pan with this dough, freeze it, and then you cover it with parchment paper and fill it all the way to the brim.
With?
'Cause see how it's kind of jaggedy? It wants to fall. So the pie weights I use, I didn't bring them because it's just a mishmash of all dried leftover things. Lentils, rice, beans. I bought pie weights.
Those become your weight.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've paid for pie weights, so it's a mixture of all these things. But the pie weights are really expensive, and you need a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I just
You
use
choose
dried.
whatever you have.
Yeah.
Whatever you have.
So
Smart.
it's this really ugly mishmash of beans and
Okay.
rice and things. Fill it to the absolute brim so it doesn't slide. Bake it for a half hour.
And then what's part 2 today?
Part 2 is actually filling.
Oh, sorry.
And I have the lattice top. So the same dough, I have a lattice top. I'll show you a little bit about how to do that. Slide that on, dust it with, what's it called? Oh my God, pearl sugar. And then bake it.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
There you go.
gonna be
Again,
pretty.
we're learning some techniques with Mimi, and you can find more information on her website, which is
Bombakes.com.
BOHMBakes.com, because
Yeah.
this is Bake of the Month.
Buns and more. Pies, tarts, buns and more. Pies, tarts, buns and more.
We'll be right back.
Wow. That's the first time I've heard about this weight thing.
Oh,